you slide through today, bro, because I want you to drop a little knowledge just on the music game. You know how to market yourself. And just really just give knowledge to the people just all around your experience as a musician, bro.
For sure.
So really, like my first question is, bro, like how do you get paid for music?
The number one way, besides like shows, which you gotta be like established if you really want to get paid shows. The number one way as an independent artist is streaming. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. The streaming platforms. YouTube is okay, but I tell artists all the time, like YouTube pays the lowest. You know what I'm saying? So you really want to focus on Spotify, Apple Music. Those are the top two, I would say. Tidal is there. YouTube, of course. SoundCloud. It goes hand in hand with YouTube. But really, the giant is Spotify for independent artists, and then Apple Music. I would say focus on that second because it's easier to build on Spotify than it is on Apple Music because Apple Music doesn't have like the system set up for independent artists like Spotify does. So definitely, I would say, that's the number one way to get
Definitely.
paid.
So I know you said YouTube pays the lowest. So like, how do they pay? Like, is it by like cents or a dollar?
Like everything is cents. Everything is like YouTube. Those ads that you see at the beginning of the videos, in the middle of like long vlog or blog videos that come on in the middle, those are commercials. So you get paid based on that. So however many people watch your video, that ad that's running is how you get paid. It's not like the views, and it's because of that ad is what's making the money generate.
Okay, yeah, so it's strictly ad dollars for YouTube then.
Just ad dollars and CPC. That's like those ads that pop up and people can click them.
Got you. Do you know what does CPC stand for, bro?
Good question. I have to look up that myself. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
yeah, but that's just basically like
cost per click. I'm tripping.
Cost per click. Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So CPC, that's like it's like how many people click on those ads, and you can't just for all the artists watching, don't think you're just gonna have your homeboys click all the ads and you're gonna get some money because Google's too smart for that. They're gonna the AdSense picks up on that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what that is too. You get paid. Those are the two ad revenue streams on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So just say I'm a local artist. I've been dropping music for about 2 or 3 years, or whatever. And I wanna change like my whole brand of myself as of like tomorrow. So what's the first thing you think I should do?
The first thing that I think you should do is establish your identity. Like, who's your target audience? Because you can't. I don't care who you are. Even Drake has a target audience. Everybody has a target audience. You're not gonna make music for everybody, because not everybody's gonna want to hear your music. You know what I'm saying? So, who's your audience? Like, who are you most appealing to? Are you going after the street guys? Are you going after the women? Who are you going after? And that's the first thing you gotta identify. Is like, who are you going after? And then, what's your brand? Like, who are you? Not just who you're going after. Like, who are you? Are you the thug? Are you the cool guy? Are you the wild, funny dude? Or like the Baby? That's why people are gravitating to him so much, because he's the hood guy, but he's funny.
Right.
He's super funny, but then he got the play with me attitude. And that's why it's working for him, because we know he about that life. But he's funny. He cool, like the most humble person you'll meet. But if you play with him, he gonna get on that. But you see, that's him. It's authentic. So be yourself. If you ask me, that's the best way to build your brand. Like, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to like fake it. Like we see with 6ix9ine, you try to be a thug and you're not really about that life. You see what happens. Now he'll never be able to be on that gangster stuff against fake. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I would.
For sure, bro. Yeah. So just going back to getting the music out there, bro. So how do you pick a good distributor? How do you know what distributor is right for you?
Percentages, first of all, that's important. One good one I recommend all individual artists is DistroKid, and of course we ain't on here promoting, we just telling the truth. But DistroKid is great for independent artists. TuneCore, that's a great one. Because those allow you to pay like yearly, monthly, however they break it down, and you can upload as much as you want, and you get to keep 100%, and that's important. You know what I'm saying? But me myself, I'm with the Orchard/Sony right now. That's my distributor. And why I'm with them is because you get a little more opportunities than just being with a DistroKid. But those aren't something that you can just go sign up for, like a TuneCore DistroKid. That's something that you have to be like signed to or invited through. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's not just typical. It falls under the line of like Empire. You got the Orchard. things like that. You know, those are a little more
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it took you some networking to get that.
That don't just you don't just get that. You can't just sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? That's like United Master. That's another big invited one. That's NLE Chopper was under them before.
Gotcha.
Warner deal. You know. So.
Okay. Yeah. So you get a distributor, and then you waiting like a month or two, and you. Like how long can you expect to like get your first payout?
It usually takes about 2 to 3 months. After you release something on the streaming platforms, it's backdated about 3 months. So like the streams I got 3 months ago, I'm gonna see next month on a paycheck. You see what I'm saying? And some distributors pay weekly, some pay monthly. Some pay every 2 weeks. It's like a job. It's literally like a job.
Okay. So how many streams does it take to really see some real money?
You're gonna need hundreds of thousands for sure. You're gonna need hundreds of thousands. You're not just gonna 20,000 streams is like that's not. You'll make if even a couple $100 might not even make that. It's gonna take hundreds of thousands. You're gonna have to get some real streams.
I know when you said you're getting paid cents, so it's like. What is it like? A certain amount of cents per stream?
So,
is how much you get paid?
Oh, that's a great question too. So let's break it down on Spotify terms. There's 2 different types of listeners on Spotify, right? You got the listeners who are just listening for free, and then you got the premium listeners, the ones who pay whatever Spotify's monthly subscription charge is. Those that pay the monthly subscription charge are worth more than the ones who are just listening for free. Those are paid. They're probably double. You know what I'm saying? So like if you got a Spotify subscription and you go listen to my music, it's worth more than somebody who's listening to it and then the ads pop up every 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And for real, like with Apple Music, to listen to songs on Apple Music, you gotta have a subscription. So that's why Apple Music pays a little more than Spotify does. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta have this. You can't even listen. I don't even think they can let you preview but 30 seconds if you don't have Apple Music subscription. So that's how it's broken down. Then with Spotify, another thing that people need to learn to separate is like you have monthly listeners versus streams. A monthly listener, say you go on my profile and you listen to 10 songs. That's 10 streams, but that's 1 monthly listener. So when you see an artist that has 8 million monthly listeners, that's not how many streams he has. He might have 50 million streams, but 8 million people streamed his song 50 million times within that month. And monthly listeners are very important because there's been times where I have like 100,000 monthly listeners and people might think that's 100,000 streams. No, I'm way past that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's usually double on the lowest end. So if you got 100,000 monthly listeners, most of the time somebody will have double the amount of streams as they do most monthly listeners at the lowest though. Usually it's like triple or quadruple.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So let us know about ASCAP and BMI, bro. What are those?
Now, a lot of people mistake those two too. Like streaming royalties is different from ASCAP and BMI. Like a lot of independent artists won't make money off of ASCAP and BMI. Those are performance rights societies. So like what they do is they collect the royalties from like TV shows, club appearances. Like every time your song gets spent at the club or on the radio or something, ASCAP and BMI, that's the data they're collecting. If you got a song that's on a TV show, they're collecting that data. That's where their money comes in from. So that's nothing to do with the Spotify, Apple Music. You can be making, thousands of dollars on Spotify and Apple Music, the mechanical royalty, but you might not make $5 on. Because if you don't got a song on the radio or it's not on a TV show or anything, ASCAP isn't, well, you're registered for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's important to register just in case that happens, but don't expect like if you register with ASCAP and BMI, I'm about to make money off this. No.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So really the key is really to making the money is like you have to really like build an audience and make sure you have the right distributor.
Yes.
It's more so ASCAP and BMI is more so like later in the game, but just make sure you're conscious of it.
Exactly. It's later in the game for sure. You don't need that right away because you're not gonna get on a TV show and this is your first record. It just doesn't work like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure. It's later in the game.
Sure, yeah. So how important is buying your beats? How important is that to you?
Very important. Because especially nowadays, in the world we live in, they're cheap. Like literally, there are major label artists that are buying exclusive leases for $150 on YouTube, and you can get it streamed as much as you want. You can put it on a TV show, anything, and literally all it costs you is $150. Now the producer is still gonna get some percentage of that. You know what I'm saying? Because he registered the beat. If he was smart, he registered his beat. But it's very important because, and it's cheap. Like I tell artists all the time, even if you buy a $30 lease on YouTube, right? Even if you just do that at that time, go back later on, if the song's taking off, and upgrade it. Spend $150 and get the exclusive lease. You don't have to pay these producers $2,000-$3,000 to own the beat. You don't need to own it. You know what I'm saying? Just have the exclusive lease so you can use it as much as you want to, and you don't have to worry about getting sued later on. And so it's fair for you and for them. They getting their little $150. Cool, they getting their credit, and if they register and the song takes off and it gets on TV shows and everything, hopefully they're registered with some type of publisher, so that way they're collecting their money too. But you can't just, I wouldn't download it, use it for free, throw it on the streaming platforms, and just think, oh, okay, this is good, man. Go buy the exclusive lease, bro. It's $150. If you can't spend $150 on your music, you don't really want it. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want it. You gotta spend that little money. You know, so
that's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth, bro. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on being independent versus signing with a label?
If it makes sense, I would say you could take a label. If it makes sense, stay independent. If you got enough money to fund everything independently, stay independent. If you want that backing, you know, you can look for labels. But one thing that I always tell artists, like, if your goal is to sign with a major label, you're already losing. Your goal should be make it in the music industry. So like, if you want to make it, you can't sit back and be like, this label don't sign me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. No, just do it. Look at Dolph. You know what I'm saying? Dolph has distribution with Empire, but he's independent. Like, that's not a major label deal. That's just a distribution partner. And when you come with that attitude, you'll go a lot further. Like myself, if I would have just sat back and said, man, I'm not doing nothing until a major label comes getting me out, you know, ain't no telling where I would be right now. I got it and I grinded on my own. I built the audience. I got the streams up. I got the numbers. I started making money off of it. You know, doors open, Instagram verification happened. It falls in line. You're gonna get what you put in. So if you just chasing a major label, I mean, you don't really want it. You gotta make people want to hear your music. That should be the goal. Like, get the music out there. Forget about how it's gonna get out there. Just get it out there. You know, so if you got enough money to fund it, I would suggest stay independent because you keep all your rights. But at the same time, if you're ready for that next level, start hollering at the labels, you know, or they'll come to you if you're doing what you're supposed to do independently.
For sure, bro. So what's the importance of having a manager, and what are your expectations as an artist from a manager?
It's very important. Like, with me, a manager is supposed to take your vision and bring it to life. They're supposed to be the ones who guide and mold your career and take it to the next level. So, like, if you say, man, I want to be the next big thing, a manager's supposed to say, okay, let's break it down in goals. You said you want to be the next big thing, right? Okay, in order to be the next big thing, first you need to hit record. You know, so let's start with that. He's the one in the studio with you, grinding out, hey, yeah, we need that. Nah, that ain't your sound. This your sound. You need to go here. Then after that, it's the next step. Okay, now we got a good song. Man, do we need to release this independently or do we need to shop it around? Okay, this is an independent release. We know we don't got no buzz. Let's release it independently and build the buzz. Let's start doing what we can legwork wise. Let's get out here in these clubs. Let's network with these DJs. That's what a manager is supposed to do to me. They're supposed to fill the gap between the mass audience and the artist. A manager, when he comes in, an artist should only have to write, record, perform. A manager is supposed to do everything in between. Make it easy for the artist. And that's when you know you got a good manager, when they fill that gap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's important.
Okay, cool, bro. So let us know a little bit about your journey. Like, when were you comfortable enough with music to the point where you know you can quit working a 9 to 5?
Man, to be real with you, like I tell all artists, like, don't quit your job until the dream is paying you. Because once you quit that job, if your dream ain't, don't have like high expectations. Like, oh man, this job, I don't need it no more because my music starting to take off. But is it really taking off? Like, don't have false expectations. Like, be realistic about this. Like, if you know for a fact, if you know that you're not really streaming the way you're supposed to, don't quit your job because you trying to paint this image. Like, really grind out. And that's when you'll know. You'll know when it's time, because it'll be like, damn, this is starting to pick up more here. Now this job is actually interfering with what I'm trying to do. I know I gotta detach from this. You know, and that's when you know it's time, when it's really interfering. Like, you have to be real about it though. Don't just like, oh man, this job in the way, and it's really not. No, when it's really interfering, but you're starting to see results from the music. Like, if you got a show that night that you're about to get paid for, and you got to work that night, obviously that should be a day that you call off work. Dang, I got a show, I'm about to make a couple thousand here, or I got to go to work for 8 hours and punch in. Nah, I got to go feed my audience. And that's when you know it's start timing to, okay, I got to start breaking away from this now. So don't do it until you start seeing results for real. In other words, you know, and until you start seeing that, just keep working. You know, don't have no shame in that. Go to work. I mean, it ain't no big deal.
Right, for sure, bro. So yeah, personally, on your grind as an artist, like, what like additional streams of income do you like suggest for an artist, you know, coming up?
Besides music, you're saying? Like,
yeah.
What?
Or anything. It could be anything inside the music business.
Features. That's another big one. I get a lot of feature requests, and man, look for other artists. Like I tell artists all the time, don't just look at yourself like, okay, you've been doing it for 10 years and you ain't pop. Man, maybe there's a 19-year-old kid out there that is doing his thing. He might got the sound that people are looking for right now. If you got a little extra money, why don't you invest in him? Now you becoming a boss, become a CEO. If it's not working for you, then reroute. You know, there's plenty of things to do in the music industry, and if you got the connections, if you built it up enough that you have a connection, then why not help somebody else and you're helping yourself too? Like, I mean, a lot of the CEOs, especially the black ones that we see in the music industry game right now, like, they used to rap. It didn't pop for them. Right. But they got the connections that they needed. They got, you know what I'm saying, the resources. And now, look, some of them are running some of the biggest labels, you know what I'm saying? And that's literally how it works. So, like, that's what I suggest. Like, you know, I always tell artists, like, be open-minded to when it comes to working with other artists and helping them get to the next level, because that can also help you. You get a finder. If you take somebody to a major label or you pitch them, you get a finder's fee for that, and you can get a percentage of that deal that they sign for the lifetime of the deal. So, I mean, that's one big. It's free. Like, if you got the connection, it's free. Literally, like, okay, this dude, man, he got a nice sound. Let me send it over to this dude I got at this label. If he bites, you get a percentage. Voila, you're in the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that I always do. And write for other people too. Like, don't be scared to just give away a song. Like, oh damn, that's a good song, I need to keep that. No, you can't keep them all, because that might not fit. The song might be good, but that song might not fit the brand that you have. You know what I'm saying? I don't make songs like The Baby, but if I wrote something like that, man, I might pitch it to somebody who's got that same audience.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll be surprised how many people will ghostwrite out.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And now ghostwriting is becoming so public. Like, these guys are admitting, like, yeah, such and such helped me write that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Definitely, bro. So, like, who are some of, like, your idols or some people that you looked up to, you know, learn the game? The same game that you teaching us right now, like, who gave you the game?
To be honest with you, man, I got, like, it's a lot of people, and they're so underground, I don't even know if they would want me to say their names, but how I learned is, like, managers, PRs, people like that who are still, like, they might be in the door, but they're still hungry. Like, you know, they might manage a major artist, but they haven't necessarily made $1 million themselves. You know what I'm saying? So those are the people that I like talking to, like, that have one foot in, but they're not, like, satisfied yet. Yeah, I'm in here, but I ain't at that level. I'm not Diddy yet.
That's the key.
Yeah, you gotta find those people.
Hungry.
Yeah, you gotta find the people who are in the door and are hungry, and show them, hey, I got talent. And trust me, those are the people that are willing to listen to you, because they're in the door and they're around the millions and millions of dollars, but they don't have it yet. You know, they might have a few 100,000, but trust me, in this world, that's so small. You know what I mean? That's not no money. So, you know, those are the people you gotta listen
Got you,
to.
bro. So when did you know like networking had paid off for you? Like you do have like a moment in like that you have where like, you know, just the pieces got put together, bro. You know, you networked your way to a certain position.
Yeah. For me, when things got real, I'm not gonna lie, is when I got verified on Instagram. Like that was.
Sure, yeah, and that was just this year too.
Yeah, that was just.
For sure, yeah, congrats too.
Yeah, appreciate that. But that's when I knew like what I was doing was paying off.
Yeah.
Because you know that's like a milestone for a lot of artists. Like a lot of people look at that blue check as like, you know, oh, you're important now. And it's crazy because I never knew like just a blue check would open up so many doors. And it literally opened up doors that I could never open without it.
Gotcha.
So that was the big thing for me. Like my last EP, Apartment F, that did 1 million streams, right? And still no doors open. But what that did was led me to a door that got me to the doors that are opening now. You know, that was like, I would call that EP the walkway. You know what I'm saying? That was the walkway to the doors. So when I got my numbers up, that created the walkway. And then when I got the blue check, now the door is open. Now everybody's hitting me up. Now everybody's interested. Now everybody's paying attention to, oh dang, that did do 1 million streams. Oh dang, this dude's music is good. They stopped looking at me as an amateur and started taking me serious as like a pro art. Like, okay, this dude's really an artist.
Yeah, the whole game, it's a numbers game, man.
It's a numbers game.
Seriously.
Yeah, for sure. It's a numbers and perception.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so how important are shows to an up-and-coming artist?
Not super important.
Okay.
And I tell people that all the time. Like, of course, you want to get out here and like network, and I'm not against doing open mics and everything like that, or opening up for major artists. I'm not against that at all. But my thing with that is you're gonna get shell shocked when you're on that stage, because those people come for who they come to see. And if they don't know your music, 9 times out of 10 they're not really gonna vibe with you. So if that's the route you're gonna take, I would suggest that if you know you're about to open up for an artist in a month at this club, start going to the club and networking with the DJ. Start getting your song played. Start getting it out there. So then by the time you come, have all your people that you know already know your song, your 20, 30 friends, and have them with you. You know what I'm saying? And don't tell them to get on stage with you. Put them in the crowd. That's your interaction right there. Throw them in the crowd. Tell them when I perform, I need y'all front row. Y'all support me. Show me y'all support me. Put all 30, 40, 50, whatever people you can bring out on your own in the front. And that's how you get others that don't know you to engage with you, like to turn up with you. That's a little trick that I'm giving right now. Like, literally, you can't just expect like, oh, I'm about to go out here and I'm about to rock it, and these people about to rock with me. Doesn't work like that. They came for who they came for.
Exactly.
You know, so if you know, you have to get the people that are engaged with you to engage with you. You need the people that are there to see whoever you are. If it's King Bone, if I got Yo Gotti as the headliner and I know I'm opening for him, I gotta fill the seats for King Bone. If I can get my 40, 50 people, even if it's only 40, 50 people, if I can get my 40, 50 people in there to turn up with King Bone performing, I'm gonna gain 20 new fans that night.
Right.
And follow me on social media, say your social media name, and that's how if you're gonna do the show route, you have to do it like that. Get some people in the building. You know, your people, even if it's just family, your mom, your sister, whoever, get them in the building, have them turn up when you perform.
I got you, yeah. So really the key to the game is just really marketing yourself.
Yes.
Then,
yeah, definitely. You have to get out there.
You
and
gotta have the funds to invest in yourself, man.
And the image. Like, you can't be, if you don't be on there rapping about no Rolexes on, and
you ain't got no Rolex.
You ain't got no Rolex.
Right.
Like, don't talk about you're in a foreign and you're not, and it's okay to not be in no foreign. It's okay to not have a Rolex, but you can't be talking like you $1 million nigga and you ain't even had $1,000 at one time.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
sir.
important too.
What's the best advice you've got thus far?
The best advice that I got, man, I got so much advice. To pick the best, it's hard. But I would say one conversation I remember, it was from somebody on my management team, and he was like, "Bone, look at it like this, bro. You've got millions of streams all across the internet. You got hundreds of thousands of followers. You've made money off music already. You're still making money off music. Bro, from the small city you come from, you've already made it." And that hit me different because I worked so hard that I don't look down. You know, I don't look down. I just look around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking around and up. So I'm looking up at the Drakes and the Meek Mills and the I need to get there. But he reminded me like, bro, yeah, you're gonna get there, but look down. Man, look how high you climb. And he's like, yeah, bro, you don't even realize you're halfway up Mount Everest. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, just to have that tunnel vision. Don't worry about what the next man doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I get so caught up in like that where I want to go, I forgot what I've already done. And so that's one thing I would tell artists like, you know what I'm saying, as far as the advice he gave me, take that advice too. Like, man, look at what you've already accomplished. Even if you got 1,000 streams, man, it's a lot of people that can't get that. There's millions of artists on the planet. You know, so that was a great advice that I always go back and I read that text because he was telling me the truth. Like, bro, for the city you come from, man, you've already made it. And I was like, bro, you're right. He's like, bro, you got more streams and followers on social media than people that live in your city. You made it. And I was like, you're right, bro. You're right, you know? And I love that. So I go back and every time I feel like stressed or worried or down about something, about music, I go back and I read that.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
So one thing I forgot to throw in there, bro. So are you familiar with ISRC codes?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Can you drop some knowledge on that for people?
ISRC code. That's not the QR codes, right? The ISRC. Yeah, I'm tripping. The ISRC codes are like the song codes. That's like, it's like how you track your song. So if it's monetized by, say, you release something through DistroKid, that IRSC code, that's like the code they use to find out where all these streams are coming from. And so that code registers with motherfucking SoundCloud, Apple Music, YouTube, Tidal, all. It's the same. It's like the song's DNA. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to describe it. It's like the song's DNA, because a lot of times people think like the QR code, the little square that you can scan, they think that's the IRSC code, and that has nothing to do with that. That's something totally different. Like I see a lot of artists now passing out flyers with their little QR code, like, hey, scan, man, it's gonna take you straight to my website. No, that ain't that. This is like the song's DNA. This is the barcode for a song. You know what I'm saying? It's the barcode for music. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, bro. So if you could like break down like how to be a rapper 101, just starting from square one to what you've accomplished now, like how would you break it down?
First things first is the first thing you need to do when you wake up in the morning and you decide I'm gonna make music. Who is my audience? Establish that right away. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to, and let me break that down a little more, because there's a lot of people, we're gonna get into some real content on this. We need this video to be very beneficial. So when I say your target audience, to elaborate on that, does your fan like going to the beach? Does your fans like going to arcades? Those are two different lifestyles. Does your fan like to sit in the house? Does your fan like to go out and party? That all dictates what kind of, and I break it down even more simple. Like, does the average King Bone fan drive cars? Or do they catch Ubers? Or do they prefer public transportation? When you decide on who your target audience is, you have to keep all that in mind. Because obviously, if your target audience is somebody that is more likely to take public transportation, when you're talking about these foreigners, they're not going to feel you. You feel what I'm saying? They're not going to feel that. So that's the first thing. Like, decide on who you're targeting. Are you targeting, suburban kids? Are you targeting people that are still standing on the block trapping? Are you targeting the scammers? Who are you targeting? And once you do that, image. Everything that you do has to be based around that target audience. So if you know you're talking to the people who are in the struggle, why do you have on a $100,000 chain? Or why do you have on a fake chain? Why find you a distributor? I would recommend DistroKid. It's like $20 a year. You can upload as much as you want to all the streaming platforms. And then, you know, put the music out there to the world, write some ads on Instagram, Facebook, all that great stuff, and just see how people react, you know, and go from there. You might have to reroute. Maybe this audience ain't for you. Maybe you need to switch here. But those are the things I say first. Identify, then find a distributor. Once you do that, put the music out there. Fourth, marketing. Fifth, see how people react.
For sure. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. One more question. How do you feel about, you know, buying the sponsors from Facebook and the ads from Facebook?
Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. That's very key because, like, it puts it right in front of whoever you're targeting. That goes back to what I was saying. This is just proof of what I'm saying is legit. You can literally target moods and, okay, sad, happy. You know, if you got a sad song, you need to target sad people. And then other artists that sound like you, dress like you, look like you, whatever. You can literally target somebody. Oh, you look like woo woo. Okay, I do. Oh, I know I'm dropping a new video. If they say I look like him, maybe I need to target people who think he look good.
Wow.
You know, so that's very important because it puts it right in front of whoever you want to target. So do that. Do a lot of that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. So do you have any like last words for the people, bro?
Man, for all the up and coming artists out there, my best advice, if you don't pay attention to anything else we said in this video, even though you should, it's very important, man, don't give up. And don't let nobody tell you that it's too hard or you can't do it because I'm living proof. You know the small city we come from, bro. You know, and like literally from this city alone, I've got millions of streams, thousands of followers, and I made money from music and verified on Instagram. And I've never left and moved to Atlanta or LA or none of that. I've been doing that right from the crib, you know. So if that ain't enough proof that just grinding you can make it, you know, I don't know what it is. Keep going.
Cool. Yeah, so I appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah, we checking out.
Yep.
Where can they follow you at, bro?
Kingbone SMG on all social media. You know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. KingboneSMG.com. You know, we live.
Cool. All right, we're going.